Welcome to podcast for our Chapter 2 quiz. This is going to be next Tuesday, September 25th. Quiz setup will be a lot like our first quiz. So there will be multiple choice and a short answer essay or two for you to answer. Okay, we're going to use this to go through our study guide. You can use this to double check what you've put on the study guide already, or you can use this to actually fill out your study guide, or just to watch it over and over, hear me talk about each item, and use it to study with. Okay, so we'll start first with the vocab words. So our first one here is mass, and with mass, that's an amount of matter in an object. And when we find the mass of an object, we're going to use a triple beam balance, and we will use grams as our measurement. Weight is different than mass. This is one that we're struggling a little bit here to use and understand the difference, so keep reminding you, we're not finding the weight, we're finding the mass. That's the measure of the force of gravity acting on an object. And as we said, when you go to the moon, it can be 1/6 of that. So weight is directly related to the force of gravity. Volume is our third measurement here. That's the amount of space an object or substance takes up. So for instance here we have a graduated cylinder. That's our tool. We've used that multiple times, whether we were measuring our pop or measuring water, dropping in an object, an irregular object. Okay, next up, estimate. That defined is an approximation of a number based on reasonable assumptions. So it's basically making a guess, but doing that using information that is available, using and making an assumption, assuming that some things are there, data's there, facts are there to help you out. You only use an estimate if you cannot find an exact number. So that is something that we can do, but it's got to be when we can't find an exact number. If we can use a measurement, find an exact number, then we're going to go ahead and do that. Next here we have median, and the median is the middle number in a set of data. And there's two different scenarios here that I want to take us through. I'm going to draw a line between them here. So first off, we've got a set of numbers right here. 3, 13, 7, 5, and so on. Obviously out of order. In order to find the median, we need to put them in numerical order. And then, if it's an odd amount of numbers, so you got to count them all up, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on, then you just find the middle number, and the middle number here is 23. If it has an even number of entries, you're going to find the two middle numbers and divide. So, right here is our list. We've got to put it into numerical order. We're going to find the two middle numbers right here. We're going to add them, divide by 2, so our median for that one is 22. Two different ways to do it. It depends how many numbers are available. If it's an odd amount, pretty simple. You just find the middle number. Make sure you order them from least to greatest. If it's an even number, then you're going to find those two middle ones, and you're going to add and divide. Graph is a picture of your data that allows you to visually analyze and compare information. The graph might be a line graph, as I try to put some dots on here, or, as we've already made, it could be a bar graph, it could be a circle graph, whatever that is. We're going to have a key, so it helps to visually analyze and compare info. You can look at things quickly. You could look very quickly at the bar graph that we made for the airplanes, see which one had the longest distance, see which one had the highest average, so on. Okay, now we kind of switch into the bottom area, so we're done with our vocab words. Difference between quantitative and qualitative, as I circle there. I want to circle the N and the L. So quantitative goes with numbers. Match the N in quantitative and N in numbers. And then qualitative goes with labels, L and L. What are the SI units for length, mass, and temperature? Length is meters, mass is kilograms or grams, temperature is Kelvin. And of course we use Celsius a lot with the thermometers that we have available. So those are just three that obviously you're just going to need to memorize. Come up with some way to remember them. Next one up, how to find the mean, which is the average. Going to add everything together, divide by the total number. So if I have three numbers, I divide by 3. Add the three numbers up, divide by 3. Median was already explained in this podcast. And mode, and that's the number that shows up the most. So you're looking for the number to repeat itself for mode. There are some good examples in the textbook. You can even go online, find some examples of mean, median, and mode to do for practice. Okay, if someone gets hurt in class, what should you do? Tell the teacher. Find Mr. Cora, find myself right away, let us know. What is the metric system based on? The number 10. What formula do you use to find density? Density is going to be mass divided by volume. And if you look at the way that this is written, M over V, and if we actually connect these together, what's it look like? You got it. Looks like a heart. So if you can remember a heart and have the top part be the M and the bottom of the heart, the V, mass divided by volume, you're good to go. What formula do you use to find the volume of a regular object, something like a rectangle, so a rectangular object, and that's going to be length times width times height. What parts do well-written procedures always include? First of all, they always have a numbered list. 1 period, 2 period, 3 period. They're going to be detailed. Reminder, you need to tell. If you say, pour pop in a cup, you have to tell how much, 50 milliliters. What are we doing? And it needs to begin with command words. So, find, measure, and so on. So basically, we're looking for that first word to be a verb. Okay, also you need to study that measurement toolkit that's in your notebook. You need to know when and how to use all the tools. So for instance, if you need to find mass, what tool are we going to use? If you need to find volume, what tool are we going to use? When we go to find volume, reminder, and this talks about this in the textbook. So if we have our measurements here, our cylinder, the water is going to have a little smile to it. Okay? We want to measure right here at the bottom of the smile, not on the sides, not here and not here. Okay? We want to measure right here at the bottom of the smile. So you'll see this, we want to measure right here. Okay, some practice pages. Pages are listed here, page 79, page 80, and page 81. You can see the numbers that are on here, 1, 4, 5, 8, and 9 on 79, number 20 on page 80, and number 1 and 2 on page 81. Those are great practice for you to get you ready for this quiz, which, as a reminder, is next Tuesday, September 25th.